Hello and welcome to Naval Action. This is VMAQ2-X. It is October 7. It's a little after 1400 Eastern Standard Time. There's 278 online, 61 battles. And I got some mail. I received 9,000 reals from selling Trader's Brig, which was sold at Nassau. Ship was sold to Lesje. So thank you for your purchase. Let's get rid of this email. And we'll put the next one on sale. First, we'll check the prices. You should always check the prices of what you're going to sell. See, now the price is up to 12,000 as the lowest price. So I'll raise mine up to 11 or 10.5. That way it'd be 11 even. So let's bring up our fleet. This is the one we're going to sell to auction. 10,500. That way it'd come out as 11,000 even. You can see the commission goes up as the price goes up. Put on sale. Confirm. Now it's on sale. You successfully put Trader's Brig on sale at Nassau for 10,500 reals. We're the lowest price. Guaranteed to sell. Alrighty. This, for me, is the best part of the game. There are multiple things that you can do. You can take your ship out, hunt skull ships, hunt other ships, hunt traders, rank up. Got to sink ships to rank up. Got to sink ships to get gold, because you're going to need gold in this game. So that's one of the things I can do. Or I could take my trader snows and start hauling cargoes, earn some money, and get some resources purchased so I can begin the crafting tree. Now, the crafting tree is really important because during this process of capping ships, I've been burning a fair amount of chain ammo, and chain ammo ain't cheap. It's 32 each. It costs way less to make chain ammo than it does to buy it. Ball ammo, cheaper to make it than to buy it. Rig repairs and hull repairs are more expensive. Gunpowder, that's a pretty good price at 4, but it doesn't cost that much to make. So at the very least, you want to earn the craft level that lets you make all of these items here, these consumables. And we'll check the blueprints for consumables. And you see we get ball ammo at level 8. We get chain ammo at level 11. We get grape ammo at level 10. Gunpowder's at level 9. Hull repairs at 12. Medicine at 14. Rigs at 13. And at 15 we begin with ships and cannons. And from so that's what you want to be able, you at least want to get to level 14 so you can make all of these consumables that you are going to be using to fight, because you can make them way cheaper than it is to buy them. But the thing is crafting, you can't just start making ball and gunpowder you have to follow a set order of things. And like the first thing you're going to make is charcoal, which is used to make several items. Then the next thing you're going to learn to make, I think, is oak planks. Let's see if we can, I think it's manufacture. Yeah, oak planks, that's craft level 1. Charcoal we have right now at craft level 0. You need barrels to hold your gunpowder. That's at craft level 4. You're going to have to make iron fittings. Craft level 3. So the developers have wisely set the order of things that, what you need to make in an order that you'll use those items later on. And you can't just make like 50,000 charcoals and level up a whole bunch. There's a decreasing scale as you increase in craft level. So once I go from craft level 0 to craft level 1, the XP that I get for charcoal is going to drop a lot. And then it's going to drop again, and then eventually it's going to be 0. I think by the third level beyond where you're at, it's 0. So you get nothing for the thing that you make. And so you got to start making the next item. And in my view, I think it's wisely set up. They're forcing you down a path, but they're giving you what you need to make what you want later on. So, and this is like an awesome part of the game because you have options every time you log on. What am I going to do today? Am I going to try to level up to the next rank? Which is I'm at 140 of 495, so I can go out and have several battles, get a whole bunch of XP and gold, and improve that. Or am I going to make cargo runs and stack a bunch of silvers? Am I going to what did I say? I said battle, cargo runs, or craft. I can start crafting, which the first recipe is charcoal. So I need to obtain what I need to get the most XP I can out of this the first time. So right now I have 706. If I crafted the max, that would give me 34 craft XP. That's not quite the next level. I need 40 for the next level. So maybe I need some more oak. And you can get oak by capping trade ships or go purchase it at the port that produces it. And so this is the part, like I said, this is the part of the game that I love because every day there's something that you need to do. This is the best part of the game, leveling up yourself as a captain and leveling up yourself as a crafter and, you know, knocking around, doing different things on different days, on how your mood is. If you want a quiet day, you want to put some music on and just sail around from port to port to port, making deliveries and stacking coin, do that. If you want to go out and have fights, you can do that. If you want to go out and have resources and do crafting, you can do that. You know, I like this part of the game. This is part of the game that I enjoyed going through it, and this time I intend not to try to rush through it. I think a lot of people, when they get into this game, they're in such a hot rush to get up to the first rates so they can be part of the big line battles and all that stuff. I was in a hot rush too to get up to that rank and do all those things. And you know what? Wasn't a whole bunch of fun for me because most of the line battles I was part of were shit shows. So That's all I got to say about that. So I think first thing I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get my two Trader Snows set up. I'm gonna take that Parisian furniture over to, well, that's another thing, is I was gonna take the Williams Bay had this for the best price yesterday. Let's check today. Parisian furniture, distance. Williams Bay is now 1,000 lower. Morgan's Bluff has a good price, 39.08. That looks to be one of the best prices that's nearby. Yep, Morgan's Bluff, they're in like the top 10 there. So we'll take it to Morgan's Bluff, sell it, and we'll run some cargoes, get some resources either bought and brought back or on order through contracts. And if I have to place any contracts, I'll make a little clip for that on how that works. So I think today is going to be an easy day for me, just cargoes and resource gathering and knocking around and listening to some music. And when when stuff pops up, I'll stop, make a clip, and we'll string them together into a video. That's what we're going to do. Let me put this on delete. That way when we get another message, we'll know that we sold. Okay, I'll check back in with you after a few. Okay, here we are in Williams Bay. My first delivery stop was Mimbres, so I delivered there, and then I was going to stop here on my way back to Morgan's Bluff and see what the oak is going for. So we bring up the resources. An oak log is about as cheap as you can get it. 3 reals. There's 728,000 logs available. So my holds are full of cargoes, so I'm gonna finish the cargo run. But when I finish up, I'm gonna try to round robin it and end up back here, and I'll pick up a load of oak logs. But while I was here, I'd figure out, I'd show you how to place a contract. So you got buy and sell contracts. So we want to buy contract, it's resource, and we want oak. We enter the price, which is 3, and the amount, which I'm not sure if there's a cap on it. Let's see if there's a cap. $10,000 is the max. That's going to cost me 31,500 reals. I currently have 68,942 after my first cargo delivery. I was at 59,000. Then I had 2 cargoes to Mimbres, and then it went up to 68,942. So we're going to go ahead and make this contract. They give you like a readout to make sure you're doing the right item for the right price and the right amounts. You click confirm. And then while you're in port, you can view your contracts. And you can see it's already fulfilled. But what this does is this will sit here as long as I need it to sit here. And I can come pick it up at my leisure. So, and you can see I got 6 contracts that I can make at various ports. So I'm also going to stop up at Mangrove Cay and put a contract in for iron ore, because that's the next big item that I need to craft is iron ore after the oak. So I'll leave this here, and later on I'll come by and pick it up. But while I'm here, I'll check and see what deliveries are, going where. There's one to Crown Haven. There's one to Road Rocks. I'm going to both Crown Haven and Road Rocks now as it is. So I will take those missions. This one here should be full. We're maxed out on this ship. So I'm going to switch ships. You can see I put a paint on this ship. That's so when I switch from ship to ship, I can tell that I'm at the different ship. Because you need to be on your ship to take a contract. So what do I have here? I have 2 mediums and a light. I can take a medium cargo. I'm going to Road Rocks, so I'll take a light cargo. I'll be a little bit emptier. But that's why I always try to put a paint job on one of the 2 snows. That way I can tell them apart when I'm clicking back and forth between them in port. So that's how you do a contract. Okay, here we are back in Williams Bay. I just dropped off my cargoes here, and I'm going to cash in on this contract. Let's check my contracts. While I was on my sail around, I went to Marsh Harbor, and I got hemp for 3 reals, 10,000 of it. It's fulfilled, ready for me to pick up. And then I also bought some iron ore at 5 reals. It's a little bit higher than the lowest price because there were 2 contracts below it. But it was in stock, and so I bought enough to fill my 2 snows on one trip. So each snow empty will hold 1571 of, so I rounded that down to 1570 each ship, and I bought that amount, which is 3140. And it's sitting there waiting for me to pick up. So it's like one trip here. It's going to be 2 or 3 trips up here, and then it'll be 2 or 3 trips here to haul it all back. But I'm going to claim, and then what you can do is you just drag and it loads right onto your ship, and then the remaining stock is here. It just stays here until I come back and pick it up. So it looks like it's at least 2 more trips to haul it all over there. My money's down to 28,000. I mean, I easily earned 40,000 on the cargo drops, the delivery drops, but I've been burning it. I got a lot of stock to pick up, and then I'll be able to do some pretty hefty crafting. So I got 1 shipload full of oak log, and the other ship is loaded with hemp. So gonna make another few trips, pick up my supplies, and then we'll do some crafting. Okay, here we are back in port. Let me minimize this. And I've picked up all my iron ore that I had on contract, and I've got 1 more run of to pick up the rest of my oak logs. But I got enough to do my first crafting, more than enough. So let's go ahead and do that and see what's up. But first, got an email. You received 10,500 reals from selling Trader's Brig, which was sold at Nassau. The ship was sold to Canuck. Thank you for buying. So I'm going to put this last one up for sale. First, we're going to check what is what here. What are they going for? Still at 11,000. So this last Trader's Brig, we're going to auction it. Oop, that's too many zeros. There we go. And put on sale. Cleaning up that port slots. Now let's do our first crafting. Okay. Here's our recipes, our blueprints. Charcoal blueprint is the first one. And 40 oak logs get you 100 charcoals, and it gives 2 XP. Now, I think it was 3 yesterday. I'm not positive. But these are time limited. You know, as you wait, you know, as time goes on and as you increase in your crafting levels, this number is going to reduce and eventually be 0. So we're going to get at least 40. What's that take to get 40? 20? So 2,000. 20 times 40 is 800. That's not working. Holy shit. So if I burn half of my logs on charcoal, it's going to give me 10,000 charcoal, which will give me 141 XP, which probably will jump me a couple levels. And it costs me 100 real, 4,000 logs, 10,000 charcoal. Let's do that. Okay. You might say 10,000 charcoal. Believe me, you're going to use it because you use charcoal to make iron stuff, iron fittings. You use it to make cannons. You use it to make gunpowder. It's used for all kinds of things. So that should have unlocked a couple of more recipes. So we'll bring this up. So now we have oak planks blueprint, which is the craft level 1 item. We got the sail canvas, which is craft level 2. And that's it for now. What craft level are we? We're at craft level 3. So at craft level 3, you can build a forge. And once you build a forge, you can start making other things. So that costs 10,000 reals in craft level 3. Let's do that. So what is the recipe? Now that we have a forge, we'll re-click this. Iron fittings is craft level 3 item. See how it gives craft XP of 3? That's the beginning. That's the high number I think you get. And then it will steadily go down as you craft stuff. So let's make some iron fittings. Iron fittings requires iron ore and charcoal. Quantity produced is 100. So that will make 10,000. That will burn half of our iron ore and a fifth of our charcoal. We'll get 151 more points. Let's go ahead and do that because we're going to need iron fittings for stuff. So now we have 10,000 iron fittings. We have 8,000 charcoal because we used a bunch. Now let's check the blueprints again. No new blueprints for the forge, but in the workshop, we have barrels, provisions, ropes and blocks, rum. Oh, wait a minute here. Provisions is craft level 6. What's our craft level? We're at craft level 7. So ropes and blocks are at craft level 7. Now to make ropes and blocks, I don't have what I need. I need lignum vitae log. Well, I don't have enough. It gives 10 XP. So I might have enough. I don't think I have enough to go all the way up to the next level. But I mean, we made some big jumps there, but there's other things that we need to make. We need to make oak planks. We need to make barrel. You know, once we have oak planks, we can make barrels. And we're going to need to make ropes and blocks. Now, these other items like rum and provisions, I generally don't mess with that. Sail, we can make sail. That's a craft level 2 item. It's hemp. But I got to go pick up more hemp. I need to get more lignum vitae. So, you know, that was just basic a demonstration of what you can do with crafting. I mean, how much you craft of what is totally up to you, but I know that you're going to need lots of charcoal. You're going to end up needing a lot of iron fittings. You're going to need sailcloth. You're going to need ropes and blocks when you build ships. And so it's like you can never have enough of these base supplies. But the big ones that you need a lot of are going to be oak logs, lignum vitae logs, iron ore, fur maybe. There's like a big four. Oak, lignum vitae, hemp, and iron ore. Those are the big four in my opinion. Fur logs are mostly used for making rig repairs, and you use that in shipbuilding, and that's pretty much it. Stone blocks are only used for shipbuilding. Teak and white oak are special woods for shipbuilding. And then these two items, saltpeter and sulfur, they're used to make gunpowder with charcoal. But again, you know, the goal is you want to get up to that point where you're making your own ball and gunpowder. And then you can make a bunch of that and not worry about what it costs in the store. Same with rig repairs and hull repairs. Medicine, quite honestly, I don't use medicine. You know, the only time I think about wanting to use this is like during a boarding action where you're losing a lot of guys. You can click and use your medicine and start healing your guys during the boarding action. You know, but after a battle, as long as you have excess crew, you know, because of your rank, after the battle, you're going to backfill all your missing guys, or you can pull into a port and buy more. So, yeah, let me put the big four up front, and then everything else. This is everything else, and then the big four right here. These you're going to end up using huge amounts of, especially iron ore for cannons, and oak logs make cannons, charcoal. So use a lot of hemp, ropes and blocks you'll need for cannons. So these are the big ones, these four items. But I mean, we only crafted basically two things. We made some charcoal and we made some iron fittings. And we're already to craft level 7 and starting to make our, you know, the next level I think after 7 is when we start into the good stuff, our consumables. Yep, craft level 8 is balls. Then craft level 9 is powder. 10 is grape. 11 is chain. Then you're going to do the repair items, the rig and hull repairs. So I did 2 crafting evolutions, and I'm already 7 levels up. And all it took was like some cargo deliveries, and then bought some supplies, hauled them back, and boom, no real efforts. So it was easy. I don't know why people are calling this a grind. But I'm going to go ahead and stop for now, call an end to this video. Uh, like I said, I got more cargo runs to make. I got more oak to pick up. I got lots of hemp to pick up, and stuff to make. So, and I got deliveries to do too, because I need to get some more scratch, some more silvers, because all that stuff costs silvers. So, begun the crafting tree. Whoop whoop. Thanks for watching.